So with spring break happening for most people around the United States relatively around this time, I figured it would be a good time to talk about how to reestablish our classroom routines and expectations for our students. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video today. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura. I am a 4th grade math and science teacher. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe because I make all kinds of videos about education and just random teaching things. So establishing classroom routines is difficult at the beginning of the school year, but the good news is that at this point in time in the school year, reestablishing those routines should be a little bit easier on you. So my very first tip that I would say for everyone is go ahead and make sure that you treat that first week back from break or the first day back from break, whatever it is, treat it like it's the first week of school. Go over those routines, go over those expectations that you set at the beginning of the school year. The good news is it should go quicker because your kids already know these routines and stuff from doing them throughout the school year, or hopefully doing them throughout the school year. But yeah, that's my first tip, if you will. So this is editing Laura, and I just want to pop in and say also, however you taught your procedures at the beginning of the year, that's what you should do to reteach them. So if you taught them by using an anchor chart, use your anchor chart. If you taught them by doing examples and non-examples, do that. However you did at the beginning of the year, redo that same thing. Do not reinvent the wheel. So with expectations, I'm going to kind of break this up into 2 areas. So academics and then like routines, procedures type of thing. First, academics. So with academics, whatever expectations you set for your kids, you need to make sure you review those expectations with them. So like, for example, when I'm teaching my math lesson, whatever I write down, the kids have to write down. Like, it's just a rule, it's an expectation. So make sure you say those things to the kids again. Remind them that those are expectations. If it's showing work, if it's, I can't even think of any more examples, but whatever it is, make sure you review those with the kids. If you don't review them, it's like it never happened in their brains. So the second area that you definitely want to review is those procedures, routines, things like that. So let's talk about those next. So one of the procedures you definitely want to review is what to do when they arrive. So for example, today is the first day back for me. I had a brand new student in my classroom. Well, he's not brand new. He's been virtual the whole year. So I had to review those arrival procedures, what they do in the morning. And it was good for my students who have been here because they got to hear them, review them, and remember what those expectations were. So a suggestion is to kind of just have a to-do list on the board. Other things you want to review are your classroom rules or expectations that you have for your students. It's always important to go over those. You also want to go over if you have any like attention getters, like 1, 2, 3, everybody freeze, something like that, just to review them, or if you have any new ones that you're going to introduce. That first day coming back would be a good time to do it. Going along those same lines, any hand signals like restroom, water, whatever you do for your classroom, that would be a great time to do that. Another tip here is if you have like some sort of Google slideshow or signs that you use in your classroom, use those to help you. You've already made them from the beginning of the school year, so why not go ahead and use them already so you don't have to recreate or reinvent the wheel. Another for sure thing that you want to go over on that very first day coming back from a break is how to line up, especially right now with all of the COVID procedures I'm sure you have at your school if you're brick and mortar, which most of my students are at this point in time. How to line up. 6 feet apart, 6 tiles, each tile is 1 foot, so you count your tiles, you're 6 feet apart. Of course, wearing the mask is another good thing to go over, showing them proper do's and don'ts of how to wear your mask. Just a good reminder because they may or may not have been wearing masks for the whole last break that they were on. And then when it comes to work as well, I forgot to mention this earlier, but another thing you definitely want to make sure you go over is just like turn-in bins or like how to turn in work, whatever your expectation or your procedure is for that. If it's virtually turning in work, make sure you review that with the kids because they may have forgotten over the break. And then the last couple things that you definitely want to make sure to review is like recess expectations, socially distanced activities, whatever you do in your school, whatever your procedures are, make sure you review those. I just got back from recess break with my kids, so I made sure to review like wearing their masks 6 feet apart, what we can and cannot play, things like that. So yeah, and then I just dropped them off at lunch, so reminding them these are our tables, this is where you sit, facing forward. If you're not eating, your mask is on. All those procedures that you went over when they first showed up in the building, go over them again. The very last thing you definitely want to go over is dismissal, because obviously they're going to leave at the end of the day. We personally like don't have any like specific procedures. It's pretty well set out to where they stay in the classroom and then they just get called to go down, so it's pretty easy on us. But if you do have any specific procedures, you definitely want to review those. So that was just a little review of some things you probably want to reestablish with your kids coming back into the building after break, spring break, winter break, whatever it was. So just review them, talk with them about it, practice the do's and don'ts. Whatever you did that first week of school, do it again when you come back from break. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.